Hello again, my friends. This is part 6 in my series, The Jewish Way of Mourning. Today I want to talk to you about the conclusion of Shiva. Shiva comes to an end by tradition on the morning of the 7th day. We have a concept in Judaism that when it comes to mourning, part of a day is as a whole day. So you can begin Shiva with just a part of the day left, but it's still a day. And you can end Shiva early in the day, but it's still considered a day. That is the way of our tradition. So we conclude Shiva, and I think everyone who has been through that experience understands how deeply emotional it is. It's part of the process of saying goodbye over and over and over again. Part of the process of somehow trying to move on again into life. The days of Shiva allow us the opportunity, the luxury, to feel the pain of loss. We're freed of all the other responsibilities. We're fed, we're taken care of. We're not supposed to be involved in business. And so we're left to mourn. Concluding Shiva takes us back into the world. Symbolically, that is what we do on that last day of Shiva. We go back into the world by the traditional walk around the block. We take that walk, and it tells us that now we must, even though we may not be fully ready or prepared, we must find our way back into the world, back into life, because we are a religion, a people which believed deeply in life. There are no prayers to be said at the conclusion of Shiva. No prayers to be said when we begin the walk around the block or when we conclude it. But it is a perfect time for perhaps a personal meditation. Some meditations that come to mind so simply, but I think profoundly important. To be able to say as we take that walk, to express a hope that as we take those steps into life and all the steps we take thereafter, that the memory of our loved one will always be with us. It will go with us with every step that we take for as long as we live. Perhaps we can meditate upon the thought that as we begin this next stage of mourning, as we conclude Shiva, as we begin to go back into life, that somehow we will feel it is important to allow and find ways for our loved one to live on within us and through us, by what we do, by commitments we may make, by the ways in which we try to keep alive the legacy, the memory of a loved one. We have, as you know, a very important word in the Hebrew language. It is the word zachor. You know the word yizkor, the remembrance service, and I want to talk to you about that next week. Zachor means to remember. That is our responsibility. Not just to remember, but to find ways to take that memory and energize us so that we do something important with our lives based upon the memory of a loved one. Why the walk around the block? You know the beautiful, the magnificent Psalm 23. What does it say there? Gam ki elech begates al mavet. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. That is the perspective of Judaism. We are never to remain fixated in that place of mourning. Somehow we've got to believe we can go on and walk once again in life. We've got to believe that we can walk through the valley and get to the other side. And on the other side, it may not be the way it once was. We know that it won't be. But it's life. It's what we have. It's all that we have. And it's what our tradition wants us to make the best of. But we've got to walk. We've got to believe that the loss, no matter how great a loss it may be in life for any one of us, cannot weigh us down so much that we are unable to continue our life journey and to walk through the valley. But the walk through the valley begins with a walk around the block. Something as simple as that. That walk symbolizes our return to society. For the 7 days, we have been an ovel, a mourner. And truly, we remain an ovel for a long time to come by Jewish tradition. But during those days, we have withdrawn. People come to us. We don't go to them. We take that walk. We begin our re-entry into life. And we try to say to ourselves and to others that we are looking for the strength, we're marshaling the strength, we are finding the strength for life to go on. I know it's not easy. I know for some it's the greatest challenge that anyone could face. But you know the word that we live by in the Jewish tradition, l'chaim, to life. And going back to life starts with that walk. L'chaim, and I'll see you next week as I conclude this series on the Jewish way in mourning. Thank you very much.